Hi guys, welcome back to Plow and Pantry. I'm Alicia if you're new here, and today I thought I'd bring you on a garden tour. It's the end of June, early in the morning, and a lot has happened since the last garden tour. It's only been 2 weeks, but it's time of year where things are just bumping. So I'm going to start over where I am right now. This is the watermelon area. In one of my previous videos, I can link below where I planted watermelon. I have 5 mounds here. 2 of them are doing really well over there and thriving. One of them started to come up and stopped. This one is just starting, and that one is not doing much at all. And I dug through it the other day and there were no seeds. So something came and ate the seeds. Deciding right now if I want to reseed it, start some indoors, or forget it all. But in the meantime, I went ahead and tucked a zucchini plant there. I ended up kind of tucking zucchini around and about in random spots. So that is the watermelon patch. Last garden tour, I'm not even sure I had this planted yet. Obviously, I also need to get out here and weed, and I haven't had a time, or I haven't had the mulch to mulch it yet, so I need to do that. And then I also planted this whole side. The first row is tomatillos. They are growing. They have adapted. They're from transplant shock. They are doing really well. I've got one that's looking kind of weak. I might need to come find some fertilizer or something for it, but the rest have gained several inches. They were like 4 inches tall with 3-4 leaves on them when I planted them, and now they're looking great. Behind the tomatillos are all cucumbers until you get near the tree. I planted those recently too, and I don't think any of those were on the last garden tour either. This row here, I didn't bring my glasses today. Let's see. Okay, so this row and this row are trials from University of Tennessee. They are comparative, so each of these has 2 types of cucumbers. Here we have tasty, tasty cucumber, and then over here is, y'all, I didn't wear my glasses, tender green. And then after the tasty and tender green, I did tuck in a few of my kids' trial of Diva. And it looks so far, this is really close. I would say tender green is doing a little bit farther, a little bit better. And then the next row is Gateway and Eversweet, which are also about the same right now. Eversweet might be edging out Gateway just a little bit. I will have to say that those 2 that are both doing slightly better on the inside, and that might get more water in there. And then down here, we have some mini-me. Those are the kids' trials. And then the rest of these 3 rows are pickling cucumbers. Those are my Chicago pickles. I direct sowed seeds in the ground for that. And most of them have come up, but not all. Yeah, so these ones that I direct sowed here that are pickling cucumbers, some have just come up. I'm trying to give them a little more time. I accidentally dropped 3 seeds in that one, I guess. These are up. This one is missing, but you can see it's about to come up. That one is up. These are not up, though. I'm not sure why. The soil has been warm enough, and it has been about a week. They should be up. But since some of them are still coming up kind of slow, I'm just going to give them another few days. That one's missing. That one's up, but brand new. Missing. Up. Up. And then 2 that are missing. And then this row is one I kept for peas. I need to weed it. I also need to weed this whole area right here. It lines the side. It's about 8 feet wide, 10 in some because it's not a straight line. I do need to weed. I've been keeping that open to plant pumpkins in a couple weeks from now. This whole side's going to be pumpkins probably. Okay, let's go back over here and look at the stuff in the middle, the stuff that was there at the last time. So these should all be pimentos. I noticed this walking by one day. Until like right there, that should be the last one. And there's quite a different level of growth in them, but one of these things is not like the other one. If you look at it, not only is it bigger, it's got different growth habit. It's like a tighter leaf pack. There is a flower on it though, so we'll see if it's a different pepper and the seed got put in the wrong packet or something. But this one has some baby peppers on it, so we have progress here. This one is still really small. Then we have some other peppers that are growing. What is this one? This is the Ollie F1. The plant is small, but it's got baby peppers growing on it. Same with this one. And then down here are the Iko peppers. There's a couple babies on here too. On that one as well. And then this one has a pepper. I think this is still an Iko. We have flowers on this one, but no peppers yet, but it's just started. Cute little purple flowers. And this is a Pippin's Golden. They come on purple. I think these are all Pippin's Goldens. And then let's see what this is. Stayed on Select. It is doing well. It does not have any flowers, but it's strong, healthy growth. And added several inches. The same with these down here. And looking back up this way, the potatoes are doing well. They're flowering now, so that means they're making baby potatoes down there. And you can tell, if you didn't know this, from potatoes, by their blooms, you can tell what kind they are, sort of, like what color they are. So these are the purple potatoes I planted. Yeah, so these are Huckleberry Gold, which are gold potato, but the outside skin is purple. And then these ones in the middle, they were a little more spotty. I'm not sure if my potato pieces that I planted got a little bit too separated in that spot. But the ones that are here are doing very well. This is the only one having a problem. And I'm not sure what that problem is, but I'll probably pull it up. But this whole section in the middle here are the Burbank russets, which I love the flavor of the Burbank russets, but have more of like a bumpy skin on them that I find a little harder to clean. So I might look for a different type of russet next year. If you guys have a favorite russet you like to plant, let me know in the comments. I might try it. And then this first flush that is super healthy. These are the Sarpomira. They are new to me. They are a red potato, but look at those plants. They are doing so well. And then all the onions in here are doing great. They are starting to bulb up. You see that? I don't really spoon my potatoes, my onions, so we'll see how the bulbs do. But they're looking great. Those are the ones that when I planted them, I mentioned I wasn't sure they would even survive because they were like half rotten. And they had been dried and slimy, like dried and put in water and dried and put in water and slimy. And I had them for like 2 months before I planted them. Looking over here at the tomatoes, this row is the beefsteaks and momotoros. Obviously the momotoros are doing better. We did have a storm last night. We did not get much rain from it, but we got a lot of strong wind. So I need to come out here and tie some things up. There's been a lot of growth. There are flowers. Yeah, this poor thing needs to be tied up. There are flowers going on here. Flowers over here. I do need to come out. I have not pruned these in a while, and I need to come out and prune off. I always prune off anything that touches the ground because that is going to lead to fungus and rot and things in tomatoes. It always does. And then this row is, these are experimental. So these are various ones. Again, I need to post them up. A brown sugar, a Dr. Witchy's yellow. This gigantic one that's doing well here is Marmalade Skies. That was new to me. It's a hybrid from Johnny's seed. It has blooms on it. I think that's what both of those are. And then this is just called Delicious Tomato. And the smaller one here, it's still healthy even though it's smaller, is big something. Can't read my writing. Big something tomato. I'll look up the seed packet. Might be big rainbow. And then down over here in this row, we have, these are Amish tomatoes first, those ones that are getting big, and they already have tomatoes on them. They have flowers. I have been so concentrated on getting other stuff planted that I have not been out here tying stuff up and pruning things off. So things are not looking awesome. This is a persimmon tomato. I lost it in a previous, like right after it was planted, and I started a new one from seed because it was my only one and I really wanted to try it. So it has a late start. We'll see how it does. I just planted that this week. Then this one is a great white tomato. It has flowers on it up here. And then over here, Harvest Moon is this experimental one. Okay, and this one has two tags. It has persimmon tomato and black beauty because I found a pot with a seedling and it had no tag, but I had these two loose tags in the tray. So I'm not sure there. This is all Amish paste. Some of them, like that one down there, it's got baby tomatoes on it. The rest are just growing and they have flowers on them, but they're not as advanced as that one. I do have some that are getting something around the bottom of the stem. That's worrying me a bit. This is another row of Amish paste. Again, doing really well down there. Some doing medium in here, and then I've got like one that's barely alive right there. It's the weirdest tomato year ever. These are, those are Amish paste down there, but these are some other things that are like paste type tomatoes. This is a Juliet. It's smaller. This is a San Marzano. It's got flowers on it. They are slightly bigger than a Juliet, but still smaller than an Amish paste. These are, this is called super sauce. Again, that one is gone. I am not sure what to think about the super sauce. It has not done well for me this year, and is my first year trying it, and it's been a struggle, and it's a hybrid. It should have been better. And then this last one is another San Marzano. Yeah, no. What is that? Sugar. That's okay. This is my only super sauce that is doing well. Y'all, I should wear my glasses out here. So inside the tunnel over here, we have all of the cherry-sized tomatoes. I won't go through each one, but there's a big variety of different ones here doing different levels of okay, but they're all doing decent. This is the one doing the least decent, and it's fine. It has a weird, I'm not sure this is actually a tomato or a weed, small red cherry. It's just a weird growth pattern. But I need to come out here and tie these up as well and get them training up along the thing. Okay, out here in the corn patch, we have sad news. So if you watch the video where I planted the corn, I used same seed I like to use, but from a different source. I used it from our local farmers co-op. It had some pink stuff on the outside that I thought was maybe to help germination or something. None of them came up. I think there was one, tall one over there. It's like this tall now. Came up. So I dug out the partial package of seed I had from my stash and reseeded the corn, and I still only had like 4 come up. So I'm not exactly sure what the problem is. I've never had a problem with corn. Corn is easy to grow. It needs to be, you need enough space to grow enough of it, like in a block, so that it pollinates well. But other than that, it's easy to grow. I've never struggled with corn. So at this point, when I had a partial package that I reseeded, I only did half of it because that's all I had stuff for, but I seeded some fall decorative corn as well, which I had wanted to plant. I wanted to plant that and dent corn as well, but I didn't have room. So I was like, well, I'll put some fall decorative corn. I'll leave the dent corn out. Chickens can eat the fall decorative corn after I'm done with it. And that has come up. I only had enough for one row, like a row and a half of that. That has come up. This still hasn't. I've had spotty couple of things. I think I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 or 11 stalks of corn come up. So at this point, I don't know. We're running out of time, but I can still get, the phrase for corn is knee high by the 4th of July. If it's up to here by 4th of July, then you're good to go. You've got it in the ground in time. I can actually, I'm sure, do it a little bit later than that here because I have always been harvesting my corn with plenty of time left before first frost. So what I'm wondering now is if it wasn't the seed, if it's the ground, and I'm not sure why that would be because the ground over here, I didn't actually use this spot last year. It sat fallow. My chickens dug in it. Maybe they left something they shouldn't have. But I am thinking I might, if I can still find corn seed, because seeds aren't really out in the stores anymore, I might seed it into trays, see if it grows, and direct plant it, and see if something, like see if it grows in time. If it doesn't, it's not that big of a deal. And I can still feed the stalks to the cows across the street if it doesn't come up and give us corn. So that's my current plan, but I don't know that I have time to actually execute that plan this week, namely the going to the store and finding corn seeds part. And if I do that and they have corn seeds, what kind they have, it's not going to be my favorite. It's hard to find in the store. I might be trying something new. So the corn is a sad situation. What I did get planted though over here in one of my videos, you saw me plant beans. Let me move you and show you that. So these are the green beans and yellow wax beans I planted. These two are the ones that are trial from UT. These are my green beans and my yellow wax beans. My green beans are missing a few in here. I obviously don't have the whole thing mulched, but you can see exactly why I mulch. All of these weeds that have come up in between the areas where I ran out of boxes and mulch. I have a box there but didn't get mulch on top. They're not like, those weeds won't come up. I'll get some larger weeds like these grasses later on when they grow through the cardboard, but it'll be like end of season by then. So the beans are doing well. As far as the UT experiment, they're looking pretty even to me. This one has slightly less germination, but the plants are looking healthier. These are Magnum, but we'll see how those continue to grow. Over here, I've made small amounts of progress. Remember, this thing was packed full of comfrey leaves when I was cleaning out here, and I have put other stuff on top too. And then this has been on top of that, lots and lots of bags of soil. I put 2 Mexican sunflowers in here. Mexican sunflowers are like a bushy sunflower, which is why that's the only thing in here is 2 of those. And that might even be pushing it, but I thought it'd be fun to see some nice flowers out here. Sweet potatoes are doing well. They are growing. These are all flourishing. I only planted 6 of those because I still have a lot of sweet potatoes preserved from previous years. Over in this box, we have more peppers and the nasturtium. This one's doing well. This is not a big trailing one. It's like a bushy nasturtium. It is a tip-top mahogany. It's got pretty red flowers. And then these are various peppers that are doing well and getting flowers. Let's see, we've got flower here. I also seeded jicama in this bed, which hasn't come up yet, but jicama takes a long time to germinate. But we have lesia peppers, candy apple. This row is candy apple. These are one of the later beds of peppers I planted, so they're a little behind everybody else. And these are jalapenos over here. Jalapenos being the ones that are taste of jalapeno but without the heat. Let me bring you around to the rest of this. This area is still not taken care of. I showed you this area last time that I'm slowly moving towards. It's going to be mostly fall crops, but I need to dig weeds out. I need to cover walkways. I need to mulch all the things. So the only thing I've gotten done, I've gotten some more walkway done, and I have gotten this bar bed over there was packed full of weeds, and I now have perennial herbs in there, but I have not mulched at all. But I'll bring you closer over there. Right now, let's head over to the rest of this area. The bee balm is doing well. It's gotten darker and the wind's kicking up, so we might have a storm coming in, which would be actually awesome. There's a bee up there. Look at it. Hello, bee. It would be awesome if we had some water right now. Okay, so the annual herbs. We have some basil here. That one's doing really well. These ones are keeping up. Parsley is doing very well. Some more basil, and look, a couple weeds are also doing really well in here. But basil is doing well. That is the dark opal basil. I grow that just because it's so dang beautiful. Some more basil. I have one onion that survived from the plant. That plant right there, I believe that is a calendula. I did not plant this year, but I planted a couple I had tucked in here with peppers last year, and I decided when that came up, I was like, I don't think that's a weed. I'm going to leave it and see how it does. And I'm pretty sure it's a calendula, so I'm going to leave it and see what happens. I have a couple jicamas in here. These are ones I started from seed inside, and they have come up, and they're doing well there. This is a different type of basil. It's called lettuce leaf basil. It's got different kind of leaves. It's kind of fun. And then more basil in here. Dill. This is one I seeded on my own. These are UT trials here. And then over here we have some peppers that are flowering, but no fruit yet, but they're doing well. Okay, moving over to this box over here is a lot of peppers as well. We've got Anaheims and jalapenos. This is mostly hot peppers, and they're doing well. They are putting on growth. I need to bring some stakes out for them. I use those flower stem stakes to hold these up. I do have flowers on a few of them. This one has flowers. And I have 2 Kilimanjaro marigolds there. I picked up a yellow one at the store. It was a half dead. I got it half off, and it's doing okay. It needs more dirt around it and stuff. I had just plopped it in the ground before it could die. It's coming back to life, but we'll see. I got the yellow one because I like to cook with the yellow flower, and I just wanted one. Over here is this bed that has the Nevada lettuce, which I have looked up a trick for trying to make it less bitter. I'm going to try it. Jigsaw peppers. They stay small, and they have tiny little peppers, but they're beautiful plants. I love these. I just love to look at them. Another marigold there. This is all empty. These peppers are, what are they called? Banana peppers. So I'm getting lots. I need to pull that fruit, but I also have flowers and fruit on them. But these were ones that were doing well from the beginning. Some more marigolds there. In this bed, I pulled out the garlic. I had that on a previous video. Garlic and shallots, and I tucked in 2 of the zucchinis that I had in here. We'll see how they do. And then another pepper bed. This is those sweet, like picnicky peppers, little red ones. They are, I'm wondering if that one that was supposed to be pimento had a mixed seed with these. So these have flowers, but no peppers yet, because it looks like this plant. Time will tell anyways. So some of these have flowers, some don't, but there's no fruit on them yet. But there are quite a few flowers. This is the one I'm making the perennial herb bed. So this had been weeds, and I had like a 3 or 4 year old oregano there that got accidentally killed by a helper. And so I dug the whole thing, and this was rough. This was hours and hours just digging the weeds out of this bed alone. And so I put a new oregano there. I did not seed this one my own since it was late in the season. I went to the store and got one, and that's Italian oregano. I believe my last one was Greek oregano. But I put that one in and mulched it. And then I have a couple tiny little, this is a rosemary. And that is a rosemary. I tucked in a zucchini, and that one's like half of one in a pot. It's probably going to die. I just left it there. There's another different type of rosemary, like a rosy one there. Sage. I haven't grown sage in a couple years. And another tiny rosemary there. But you can see the weeds are already starting to come back. So I need to get this mulched. And I also need to move on to this whole thing, because this is, that's where I cleaned out the chicken coop and dumped the shavings. Because this is going to be all the fall stuff that I need to start seeding in like a week or 2. So that's the main vegetable garden. That's where we're at right now. A lot of progress. Some stuff still being dealt with. Some stuff still going in. It's always a game of catch up out here for me. Thank you for joining me, you guys, today. And I will see you guys in a couple weeks for a mid-July tour where there will be even more growth. And I should also have some new seeds started by then and things like that. I hope to see you guys in the next video. Thanks for joining me.